morning, peoples! Could you please listen to me for the next, 3 minutes or so? Thank you. So there was this guy named Thomas Robert Malthus, who published his Principles on Population in 1798. My nifty textbook gives an overview of the 3 main points of his principles, which are 1. The checks of population, 2. The consequences of population, and 3. Avoiding the consequences. What does this matter? He lived forever ago. Good question. I'll get to that later. But first, numero uno. What are checks of population? These are things that keep the population from taking over the earth and its resources. One of these is called means of subsistence. Population tends to grow when there's enough food for it. So likewise, Malthus thought that if there wasn't enough food for a population, then the population would decrease. Then he mentions these thingies called positive checks of population. These are things that cause people to die before they eventually starve to death because of lack of food. Things like TB, HIV, all of those terminal alphabet diseases that we all know and love so much. Then he goes on to talk about preventative checks of population. Abstinence, no, contraception, condoms, abortion. The method Malthus most agreed with was abstinence. No, numero dos, consequences of population. Dun, dun, dun. Poverty. Here's how this one goes. Too many people making babies. Too many babies equals huge population. Huge population says, I'm hungry. The answer? More workers for more food growth. Too many people plus not enough jobs equals a low cash. Ergo, poverty. Numero tres. Avoiding the consequences. How do we avoid poverty, Malthus? Well, our human behavior must change. We must try to become more virtuous, more educated. If we learn about the future consequences of our current behavior, such problems will not rise. In other words, keep it in your pants. Less nookie means less chance of having a baby, because babies are expensive, and you might not have the money to pay for one. And if you can't support a baby before you're ready, well, you may become poor and unhappy. If you do become poor, don't be a bum. Take action. That way, you can learn to do something about your poverty. And if you stay poor, well then, that's your own fault. This is all Malthus. Not me, by the way. This guy was no nonsense. Really, Mal. What was your first clue? That he hates poor people? Or that he doesn't like man-horse or skanks? So why is this important? Look around. It's happening right now. Maybe not to you, but to a lot of people around the world. Think about it. This guy lived 215 years ago, and he was way ahead of his time. He would frown upon the ways of the world today. So to honor Malthus, and to summarize, I offer this advice. Be patient, don't go sex crazy, and educate yourself. Thank you for listening to me talk, and talk, and talk. See you next time.